Okay, so I got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 a few days ago, and while I wait for my accessories to come in from AliExpress, I thought I might as well show you the settings that I use in order for me to get the best quality possible, but not sacrificing the run and gun type of shooting that I love to do. I'm gonna try to get as straight to the point as possible, and then towards the end I'll yap a little bit more. And if you want to support the channel, please click my affiliate links if you haven't already. If you haven't already bought the Osmo Pocket 3 is what I'm saying. Okay, so yeah, I have it here with me right now. The first setting that I changed was D-Log. So if you swipe right, you want to hit the Pro settings, and then you want to change the color from normal to D-Log, and that allows you to get the flattest profile possible so that you can have the most flexibility post-production. So if you're not too familiar with how to do this, it's pretty easy. You don't even have to do much. There is a LUT that DJI provides that you're able to just slap on. That's what I do, and then just tweak it a little bit so that I can get the look that I want. Super simple. I can do it on my iPad. I'm pretty sure you could do it on your phone too. You can definitely do it in the DJI app, so that's highly recommended that you just shoot in D-Log. The next thing I did was change the resolution to 4K. I always shoot in 4K now, and it doesn't matter if it's with the Osmo Pocket 3, my EOS R5, or my iPhone. I shoot in 4K. It just allows me to get the most flexibility out of my footage. And if I'm shooting short form content, it allows me to gain the flexibility, the ability to zoom in 2 times without losing any sort of quality at all. So that's super awesome. It does take up more space in comparison to 1080p, but I think it's worth it. I'm just used to having a bunch of footage at this point. The ratio I like to keep at 16:9, but the frame rate is dependent on what type of content or footage that I want to shoot. So by default, it's 24 FPS if I'm doing like a talking head or just any sort of standard documenting. If I'm just shooting, taking video of any moment, is just by default 24 FPS. Sometimes I do 30 actually, but for the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, it's most likely gonna be 24. So if I wanna switch and shoot some B-roll, maybe do a little bit of slow motion, or I wanna get smoother footage, I would either switch it to 60 FPS or 120 FPS. It's very easy to do it on the touchscreen here. I literally just flick up and flick all the way to the right if I want to get slow motion footage. And if I want to go back, I just flick up and flick it all the way to the left. It's pretty simple. Everything else is auto. So even if you go back to the Pro settings when you swipe right, it's just auto exposure, auto white balance, like auto everything. Even the exposure value is pretty much default. I don't really like to play around with those sorts of things. Again, this is the camera that I want to do a lot of run and gun shooting with. Just literally whip it out and start recording every single thing as quickly as possible. I do have the ND filter. It's a 1 to 5 stop by K&F that is just on here on the lens at all times. It acts as a protector, and then it also gives me some flexibility as well. So I'll have this link down in the description if you are interested. I enabled Gridlines. Super helpful when framing. It's just a must. I do it on my EOS R5, my phone. This has Gridlines, so you just go swipe down, hit the settings, and it's all the way at the bottom, almost to the bottom. It's gonna be reference line, and then you just enable grid, and you're good to go. You got the rule of thirds right there, ready to go. Last but not least, I changed the slider control on the touchscreen to zoom, because by default, the joystick, when you go left to right, it pans. But then when you go up and down, it zooms in and out, which I didn't really think was natural, so I switched it. So when you go up and down now, it tilts the gimbal up and down, or the camera, and then the touchscreen activates the zoom. I barely use the zoom anyways, so that's why it's on the touchscreen, and it just feels more natural that way. And that's pretty much it. It's super quick, super easy, and those are my settings because I want the most flexibility as possible, but also the most speed and convenience as possible as well. If I want a little bit more control, for example, if I don't want auto exposure, just changing the scene all the time, I would just go into the Pro settings and then just put the settings that I want. And that is situational. It is different to with every shot that I do. So you just have to gain an eye for that if you're just starting out on video. And yeah, again, that's pretty much it. It's super simple. Honestly, the most fun I've had with the camera in a very, very long time. It's super small, super portable, super convenient, super subtle, and it's just everything that I want for like a vlogging camera. The video quality is pretty good, very decent, better than a smartphone camera in my opinion, but not as good as, you know, like a full frame mirrorless camera, which is understandable, right? This thing is tiny, it can fit in your pocket, it fits in a small bag, you can pull it out, flick the screen, start recording, and it's super quick, easy, fast, and it doesn't get in the way of you documenting in comparison to a big full frame mirrorless camera. I've vlogged with this out in public. It is not the most fun thing to do, but with this, like if I take out the what is this called, the handle thingy or whatever, and the tripod, this thing is tiny. Like you could fit this in your hand, and it's very subtle. You're just like, you're gonna wonder who you're talking to instead of what you're doing with like a big camera. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. If you're looking for some more DJI content just because you maybe just got this camera or you're looking to get into it, watch this video. I hope my accessories come soon so that I can finally make a video about them. Anyways, links to everything in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.